Yeah, okay. So I was recording a video, man. Something went wrong. The video kind of just didn't work out. Fortunately, I hadn't really got much progress since then, so we're gonna start this video having already known some things. We're still working on 24 question mark, as we were. I didn't really get much there, but I remember one important thing that I was looking for was trying to get, once again, trying to get red in. So like, the idea was almost to be able to do this, and then to have a fall of 4 blocks occur, right? And so the idea I sort of had was trying to get, I mean, as you can sort of see, I can push this up by 2 and then I can have a 4 by 2. Well, it's not really a 4 by, yeah, it is a 4 by 2, but it's not really a 4 by 2, it's kind of a 4 by 2. I need another 4 by 2 for this to work out. And I was wondering, like, how could I pull that off? The way I could pull that off is if, like, this sort of thing happened. So it's like like this shape, and then, you know, red gets on the tail, and then as green moves away, red will fall. So it's kind of like, again, another 4 by 2, but I think since we determined that you need a 4 by 4 from the eating of the candy for Redbird to escape, how does a 4 by 4 be, how would a 4 by 4 be generated? A few ways. Like, I remember one of the ways being, I forgot what one of the ways were, but it was something like this. Something like this, or something like this, and then it needed both a 4 by 2 from this side, and then another 4 by 2 from this side. That's what I thought was necessary to get a total 4 by 4, but I don't know. Another thing I really still don't know is how to get the 2 birds of 8 length to be useful. Why would I need 2 8 length birds? I'm thinking it might be possible to prop one up, like using the length of one of these birds to prop up the other bird, and then eventually have something that, you know, drops everything. So like, one way I thought of doing it was, jeez. One way I thought of doing it was something like this. Something like that, I think. And then, like, the way the green could do it was green could do this, and then if blue moved away, it would fall by quite a lot. It's actually a lot more than I needed to fall by. But we do have other problems, I think. Like, we have a lot of other problems. I'm not really sure how to fix that. So it's like, okay. Let's see what shape fits. If I could make a shape that fits, maybe that'll be useful. If I assume that red extended fully to try and hit this fruit, like this exactly works. So like this level is where we need to be. To 4 by 4 implies we need to be lifted up by 4, or our tail, or, you know, this whatever upward extending needs to be able to be lifted up by 4 or some combination. Lifted up by 2, I think, makes the most sense here. Okay. It's like I want this sort of thing to happen. Is it? I don't know what I want anymore. Really. What was something I remember doing? I remember making like a platform. Like a platform like this. Which, when pushed... Ah, jeez, okay. No, I don't even know how I'm gonna get these snakes to behave. Like, when I push like this, I can sort of form a platform here that helps me do stuff. One of the really important things I want to do is trying to do this. It's pretty hard for me to leave though. Because if I could somehow do that... things might get very interesting. If I could leave this place, but I don't know how I would leave this place. I find it really hard to leave this place. It's like... yeah, it's just not... it doesn't feel possible at this stage. Because like... I want a ship like this, right? But I can't escape. There's just no way. There's only one entry point at this point, and if the entry point is blocked, then I can't escape. Yeah, that's true no matter what. But if I kind of want like I want a tail like this, and I want to like be able to drop down by 2. So like at this point. At this point, Raid will be able to fall by 2 like this and then escape, however it can escape. Seems valid, but it's a lot less valid than I think it actually is. Much like this, right? As you can see, we kind of don't really get the hook onto a lot of things. Like, this is the best I can do to hook onto something and still be able to fall by 2. What can this hook? What can this? I mean, this can, yeah, this can hook onto something. The kind of like a big issue is that this. Oh, I mean, it can fall. That's interesting. Can push it. It can't fall anymore though. Like if I try to fit this shape, this green shape, in there, there are a few problems. Firstly, Raid needs to also be there. There needs to be somehow a lift by 2, which is why there must be like a gap in between the 2 columns of snake here. There must be a gap. So I can lift by 2. So I can like pull you up by 2. But even this lifting up by 2 feels a little bit clunky. But if we could somehow get this shape to fit in there, or you know, wherever it's supposed to fit. Which I can't. Right now I just cannot fall in. I can't even get it to like be close to falling in. If it could fall in, what would it even hook onto? It would hook onto like... You have to hook onto this thing, right? I mean, no. Yeah, what would this hook onto? Because if you fit this shape into this space, wrapping around this column here, the head of green would be where the head of blue currently is, and that cannot hook onto anything. So like, it's like what? I don't know then. Then like, if I try to lift it up by 1, then I would need to lift by 3, which doesn't seem possible. Like, what could this hook onto? If I try to fit this in here, it doesn't have to wrap around. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wrap around. We need to fall by 3, and then we need to move 1 to fall by a 4th. So I put this shape in there, and I fell by 3. 2, 3. The head is still... Oh, the head is slightly higher than that, I think. The head will be slightly higher. The problem is that the neck portion would then be 2 below this ceiling, which then means it can only be lifted up by 2. So then, yeah, that's your dilemma. You can only maximally lift anything by 2 spaces, I think. If you try lifting by 3, then something else blocks the way. So I don't know what to do. I can't even get started on this. Like if I tried to make a shape here that is about... What? That is about, like... Oh, I don't know what it could be about. This doesn't make any sense. I need green to leave. Blue do this. Blue just makes this hole first. So like, can I have this sort of thing? You fall by... If green can live by 1, then red can already survive. No, but at all points, for red to survive, red must go in, eat the candy, and then fall to hide. There must be a floor here at some point. Just so that red at a height of 3 can leave. Otherwise, it is not possible for red to leave. So there must be a floor there. Okay, that is a principle, an axiom. That is something that we must be able to accomplish. A side objective is that there must be a little like stair here, so that, you know, red can also climb out as length of 3. So I mean, like, we can do that very easily. The problem is to get rid of there, and then somehow also generate a floor down here. Maybe that is done by 2 separate snakes. Maybe one snake gets up there, lifts it up, manages to escape, while a second bird goes down there. Because it is very easy. I say very easy. Can I actually make this shape? Is this shape actually push-inable? Can I actually push in this shape? Ooh, maybe not. I'm not sure if I can. Oh, no, yeah, okay, well, yes, I can. Like this. So this shape can be pushed in, right? Maybe the goal is to be able to use one snake to lift up this bird here, survive and leave, and then the other snake acts as the floor. Okay, let's see if we can pull that off. Okay, well, we're kind of stuck already at this point. So yeah, I mean, unless yellow can really scrunch itself in. Plus, it needs to do this. It must also be able to fall by 1. Like, how in the world are we gonna get that to work? I don't know how we're gonna get that to work. Like, if green were to do this, then it needs to fall by 1, because there always must be some part of green there. If it's not a tail, it's a head. If it's a head, it must fall by 1. Could it be a... Could it really be a tail? Maybe, actually. Maybe it could be a tail. I mean, how would a tail fit in there, though? Like, the tail must be generated... I mean, we had the same problem, don't we? You can't form this sort of shape in there, because that necessitates you enter and leave. But because the tail is always going to be the tail is always going to be blocking the head. So like you see, there's always going to be a block here because the shape we're making just doesn't work out. Like, we must have a shape that works, but it just doesn't. There's one entry and exit point. If that, I mean, there might be ways for it to work. I guess one way is if it looked like this, maybe. Maybe, okay. So like what am I doing? I feel like we're not getting anywhere. I thought we've done all of this before. But this is all done. This has all been done before. I mean, it definitely could be something that's been done before. It looks like this, right? Like that. Yeah, and I can make some shape and then leave. That shape isn't going to be a U shape. Like, there isn't any possible way to make a U shape and leave here, right? Unless the tail... I don't think so. Like this, but doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't think it does anything. Okay. So like the next idea is to actually have the head go in here, and somehow manage to have this bird, green bird, fall by 1. I don't know how I would be able to pull that off. I'm thinking maybe like if it's held up at this point. Maybe. So like this. If it's held up by something, we'll assume it's red bird for now. And we'll assume this, maybe. And then you can somehow do this. Red bird can eat the candy. It drops by 1. Even if it drops by 1, you need to escape though. That's actually kind of another problem. Okay. I can see something that might or might not work. So if blue didn't do this first, if blue kind of still stood like that, and then green did this sort of thing, it could be lifted up by bluebird itself. This push is possible. It actually does lift up for a second. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe I want to lift up and then another fall, so... Okay. Which means what? I want this. I want to lift up for... Can red successfully enter here and survive? And can green actually make it in here? I think the answer is yes, actually. Surprisingly, the answer is yes. But this lift barely doesn't work. I do this, I can lift it up. Yeah, I can do that, but the fall is impossible. And even then, like, bluebird needs to somehow burrow in there with its tail and manage to save everyone, which also seems impossible. So I need to find a shape that can support green bird. Going up by 1. I'll say this shape, but this shape is a bit too high, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit too high. It's almost like I want the head to be... this blue's head to be 1 over to the right, but clearly it won't be able to catch onto anything then. This looks maybe close, but not close enough. find it surprising that this worked. I'm not sure if this is necessary. But this is kind of close. Not really though, because even after this, I mean, this can happen. You get a slight fall after that. And like a slightly bigger fall after that. I don't think I see anything. Well, oh, well, you get this. That's really interesting, I think. You do need the ability for green to escape. That actually is kind of a problem. Green can't really escape. So even if red managed to... Yeah, so we need to find a way for green to escape as well. Like, that feels tail related. I mean, yeah, we're very stuck at this point. Like green... Unless green already did like a weird upside down, like not upside down. Like this, and then moved over. And it could fall a bit more, maybe. Nah, I don't know about this one. Hold on. Okay, I don't see it. Can't push right here. Very little space to push right at all. Maybe here I can push right a little. Yeah, I can push right. I can push right again. Can I push right again? Oh, now I've red in the way. It says no, I can push right again. So I can push right once at maximum. Okay. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like, see, this is one way I can push right. It's a bit too much. Oops. Well, yeah, I mean, even then, it's very hard for... But green can't survive doing that. It's just... If I ever had something here, an 8 length is super inconvenient. Maybe the 8 length isn't even like a helping factor. Maybe it's supposed to be blocking us. Oh, but this feels so good though. This feels like it works. Even though it clearly doesn't work. I'm not sure if the idea of... I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay. I was thinking... Actually, what was I thinking? I kind of forgot what I was thinking. Honestly, yeah, this is gonna be a very empty episode. There's nothing here I can do. In last episode, I did end off saying... I really do think that this shape is necessary. I really do think it is necessary. I really do think it's necessary, this shape. Or some variation of it. Where you have a hook there and a tail there. Some version of this is necessary. But is that true? And what version of this shape do I need? Is this perhaps formed earlier or later? I don't know. It could be performed later. Yeah, it definitely could be performed later. I don't know. I want to say it is. But I don't know how to perform this later. The problem is that this can only be formed. This shape can only be formed if it's pushed in by something. If the head is where the tail is, then the bird is essentially unsavable. So like it must exist at some point earlier on, while one of these birds still have free mobility before entering. And because you need two birds to actually get up there in the first place. I feel like it's built really, really early on, is my thing. That's what I'm thinking. The problem is that if it's built really early on and it can't move, then it's just two birds. But these two birds themselves are very, very insufficient. There must be some part of the body sticking into that column. And if that's the case, then it can't escape unless it falls. Can I program a fall? Like... Could I perhaps program a 2-block fall? That automatically falls when I do like... Maybe I can actually. The falls don't seem very good though, like... Doing this and then pushing up doesn't work. The fall needs to fall by 2 somehow. So like, the tail must have previously depended on something higher up, and then suddenly completely stopped existing. So the tail has to be here, there has to be some sort of like... Yeah. But... So the tail has to be here, so I'm pushing up, it falls by 2. That's the only way to fall by 1 while moving up. So you move up by 1, and then falling by 2 brings you a net total of falling by 1. But to be able to fall by 2, you need a gap of 2 underneath, firstly. And then secondly, you also need the tail to be there, where the neck of the blue is. Because otherwise, you just cannot, like, program the fall. And, like, if you try to do it any other way like this, it's only a fall by 1, because there's part of the body that's not there yet. So, like, okay, maybe I want this, and then blue sort of moves out of the way. So like, this happens. Oh, look at that. That seems valid, right? Okay. There are other problems we have for obvious reasons. One being, how the heck does red get onto green in this case? Because red can't just like, you know, stack itself up onto green like this. So like, how does that happen? Maybe blue is already like really far away. Maybe blue already has this going on. But there must be a program for like, this is necessary. Like these 3 segments, this one, and this one, they're all necessary. And then whatever I do here, I just do here, I guess. Like, I want a deviation by 1. I want this. Like, this shape looks good, and then a fall by 1. So I could get red on this shape. I could program a fall by 1. I could try and survive. I don't know how red is going to survive, because red is length of 3 at this point. I don't know how red is going to survive. red's tail will be there. I can't get to 4x1 either. So like, in this case, like, blue also has a problem. That problem being... Wait, hold on. If I did do a 4 like this, and I went up that, that's a 4. And if I manage to pull up again... Okay. So rather than doing this, maybe I did this? Like... this? Fall? I wanna pull over, but like, there's no way I'm pulling over like that. Like, Ray could balance here. Ray could somehow balance here. If I could get this entire snake to move over. Yeah, if I got like this to happen, I can push right. Oh, pushing right is kind of pointless. Like, red is still... Like, we could assume red is still stuck there somehow. The problem is I need to pull this entire snake right. It's like... I feel possible. There must be a reason why this happens, right? I can't pull this right, like... If blue instead still looked like... this... I can't push down here. I can't fall like by 2. Yeah. I'll do this on a... What do I want to do? I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. No, I don't see it. I just don't. I need help. I mean, besides, if I want to ask creator for help, honestly, I'm going to I'm gonna need to craft some questions as to how in the world this happens. I'm almost certain that 4-length bird is the candy. I think we've determined that if a 8-length bird is the candy becomes a length 7, we need to drop way too far. It's not possible. I see bits and pieces here and there for the 4-bird solution, but otherwise, I'm almost certain it's a 4-length bird eating. I don't know what the actual idea is though. So like, what do I want to do? I want to do this. I forgot what I want to do. I want to do this. Wrap around. Go down. Flip. Do this. There's no 4x1 here. There is no 4x1. Can lift by 2. But this is a 4x2. Like, it seems really useful though that this exists. That's the other part is that I still can't leave. Is there any way I could have done like... I don't think so. I don't think I could have done... Like, I couldn't shift over here. I can still do this. But yeah, this causes it to fall. I need this shape. I need... This was the opposite of what I wanted. Yeah, this was the opposite. This feels like the opposite of what I wanted. Because now when blue leaves, it doesn't fall by 1 here. I want this empty gap down here to be on the other side. So I kind of wanted it here. But now there's no way to fit under this bird. If we try to move away, then red just falls. Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to do this. I don't know. I'll ask. I'll ask. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I don't think we really got much. We didn't really get much done. But that's just how this puzzle is gonna be for now, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna see how this goes. So yeah, until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.